In human history, bridges are not just pathways from point A to point B, and we already know that life flows over them, vehicles, people, and commerce. But underneath or sometimes around them, there are secrets and stories that are not easily seen by ordinary eyes. From art installations built for the life of a community to cemeteries hidden in the shadows of old bridges, and also from old vehicles mysteriously hanging to things that appeared after a river or canal dried up. Each one has a story of history, culture, or sometimes the supernatural. So in this video, join me as we discuss and take a look at some of the most unusual things found under bridges, and things that suddenly appeared when the water under the bridges dried up. But before that, please like and subscribe. That really helps us content creators a lot. Thank you. And now, let's get started. Number 15, draining the canal. The secret under Canal Saint-Martin. In Paris, France, one of the most famous attractions is the Canal Saint-Martin, known for its beautiful scenery and the cafes around it. But in 2016, an extraordinary event revealed an unpleasant secret beneath its clear waters. After 14 years, since the last time the canal was cleaned, the local government decided to completely drain its more than 23 million gallons of water. At first, some expected to find old items, antiques, or even lost jewelry, but instead, almost 45 tons of garbage surfaced, from broken bicycles, chairs, shopping carts, street signs, to a gun that was immediately turned over to the police. Before the draining began, the fish and other aquatic creatures were first moved to a safe place so their ecosystem would not be harmed. According to experts, this kind of cleaning should be done every decade to prevent severe pollution. That's why, after the canal was refilled with water, officials called on the public not to turn it into a dumping ground. Aside from being an important waterway, it is also part of the history and culture of Paris, dating back to the early 1800s. Number 14, car hangs from a bridge, a mysterious vehicle in Toronto. One morning in Toronto, Canada, motorists were shocked to see a car hanging under a bridge, held only by a thick cargo strap. The old burned vehicle had no windows and had clearly been unused for a long time. At first, authorities thought it was part of a film shoot or an art installation. But after conducting an investigation, it was found that no one had requested a permit for this. That's why the theory came out that this was a big prank. Because it was hanging above one of the busiest roads in the city, the police were forced to close an entire lane for several hours to safely take it down. Thousands of motorists were affected by the traffic, and some of them called the police after seeing the scary sight. This wasn't the first time this happened in Canada. In 2008, a Volkswagen Beetle was also found hanging from the Lionsgate Bridge in Vancouver in almost the same way. Up to now, there is still no clear answer as to who is doing this strange stunt and why. Clearly, every such incident causes major expense and inconvenience for the city. Number 13, mysterious scrolling creature, a viral video from Kiev. Cranes showed a strange creature crawling under a pedestrian bridge. In the video's first part, everything appears normal, with cars and people present, but when the camera panned, you can see a primate-like creature that seemed very skilled at climbing the pillars of the bridge. Some say it might just be a person doing a stunt, while others believe it could possibly be a monkey that escaped from the zoo. Based on its movements, it's clear that it uses the backs of its feet in a way similar to a gorilla. Zoologists say its posture and movements are unusual compared to a typical person. This isn't the first time that a strange creature has been reported under bridges. In many cities, there are stories of homeless people or urban explorers living in these kinds of places to avoid the public eye. But in this case, it remains a mystery what or who is really in the video. And that's what made it even more popular online. Number 12, demonic face, scary face on Google Street View. Nowadays, almost every corner of the world is photographed by Google Street View, thanks to the 360-degree cameras attached to their vehicles. But sometimes, there are shots that are surprising and scary. One of the most memorable is the photo of what seems to be a demonic face that appeared under a bridge in an unspecified location. According to tech experts, these shots go through a filtering process to remove sensitive and violent images. But not everything gets filtered, so there are independent Google Earth surveyors who actively look for these kinds of strange discoveries. The said face has an exorcist-like expression, piercing red eyes, an open mouth as if screaming, and chilling details. It's not clear if this is a graphic, a reflection, or a digital glitch. But according to some paranormal researchers, the areas under bridges are often associated with urban legends and creepy encounters because they are dark and rarely visited by people. Until now, this remains one of the most well-known creepy finds on Google Street View and is still used as an example in lectures about digital anomalies and online mysteries. Number 11. Highway Rape Secret Party Under the Bridge. An underground party beneath a motorway bridge. In the United Kingdom, the authorities caught them using thermal imaging drones. According to one attendee who refused to be identified, you had to walk for almost 10 minutes through the mud to reach the place. This bridge has long been ignored by the police. That's why it became the perfect spot for those who want to party without any disturbance. But that night, it was estimated that around 800 people gathered with powerful sound systems and lights that were clearly well prepared. When the police arrived, they confiscated all the equipment and issued more than 22 fines to the organizers. In the United Kingdom, the laws against illegal gatherings are strict, especially if the location is dangerous. The bridge's safety was investigated due to the party's weight and vibration effects. Number 10. Secret Art Studio. An artist's hidden studio beneath the bridge. In an unknown city in Europe, passers-by discovered a unique art studio hidden under a large concrete bridge. The space itself was built between two concrete beams supporting the bridge and was equipped with rollers so the entire studio could be moved from one end to the other using just a hand crank. According to urban design experts, this kind of setup is rare but possible. If there is enough structural clearance and the integrity of the bridge will not be affected. The studio includes sculpting and painting tools, a bookshelf, a table, a plastic chair, and a blanket for late nights. This kind of hidden workspace is proof of the creativity of artists. The city engineering office says facilities without permits, especially those on critical infrastructure like bridges, could be shut down. Number 9, Emily's Bridge, seems to be haunted by a ghost in Vermont. Located in Stowe, Vermont in the United States, Emily's Bridge, also known as Goldbrook Bridge, was built back in 1844. It is a covered wooden bridge that is 50 feet long and only has single-lane traffic. It is known for legends about a young woman named Emily who allegedly ended her life here after her lover failed to show up for their planned elopement. Emily's story can be found in ghost tours in Vermont and has even been written about in some of the area's historical references. According to paranormal investigators, there have been many reports of scratches on vehicles, mysterious crying of a woman, and an unusual coldness in the area, even when the weather is hot. Although there is no documented evidence that the paranormal events are real, the Stowe Historical Society confirmed the history of the bridge as an important part of the community since the 19th century. Number 7, Fremont Troll, the giant troll under the bridge in Seattle. Located in the Fremont neighborhood in Seattle, Washington, the Fremont Troll is a massive statue that stands 18 feet tall and is made of steel rebar, wire, and 3 tons of concrete. Its most prominent feature is that it is holding a real Volkswagen Beetle that once belonged to a local resident. It was built in 1990 as part of a public art competition funded by the City of Seattle Arts Commission to revitalize an area that was once known for crime and vandalism. The design and creation of this were done by 4 local artists, Steve Badanes, Will Martin, Donna Walter, and Ross Whitehead, who wanted to give a unique symbol to the community. The idea of a troll under the bridge comes from European folklore, where it is said they live. Trolls are said to live in dark and remote places, particularly under bridges. In the case of the Fremont Troll, the effect was the opposite. Instead of scaring people, it became an iconic tourist attraction, visited by over 50,000 people each year. It is also included in the official walking tours of Seattle and has appeared several times in movies and television shows like 10 Things I Hate About You. Number 6, Bridge Cemetery, a cemetery under a bridge in Paris. In the Montmartre district of Paris, France, you can find the Cimetière de Montmartre, a cemetery that is partly hidden under the Rue Caulaincourt Bridge. It was opened in 1825 on a former limestone quarry that was also used as a mass grave during the French Revolution. This isn't an ordinary cemetery. This is the resting place of some of the most famous French artists, composers, and intellectuals, such as Émile Zola, Edgar Degas, and Dalliens. Its design features marble mausoleums and elaborate statues that provide a unique blend of art and history. Because it is at a lower elevation than the street, parts of the cemetery are covered by a bridge, resulting in a dim and quiet ambiance, even though it is in the middle of a busy city. There is also a community of stray cats that has lived here for many decades, cared for by caretakers and local residents. These are still open to the public and are among the protected historical sites of Paris. Number 5, Vietnam's Golden Bridge appears to be supported by massive hands. Located in Ba Na Hills near the city of Da Nang in Vietnam, the Golden Bridge is one of the country's most famous architectural wonders. It was opened in June 2018 and quickly went viral because of its unique design. It's a pedestrian bridge that looks like it's being held by 2 giant stone hands. The bridge is almost 1,500 feet long and sits at an elevation of 5,000 feet above sea level, offering a panoramic view of the surroundings, including the Truong Son Mountains. Its design was created by TA Landscape Architecture, a Vietnamese design firm, and is part of the major redevelopment of the Nay Hills Resort area. The hands are made of steel mesh covered with fiberglass and painted to look like ancient stone. So even up close, they appear to be a real natural formation. According to the Vietnam Ministry of Tourism, since it opened, it has attracted more than 3 million visitors each year. The Golden Bridge was built not just as a tourist spot, but also to provide a walking path connecting the cable car station to the gardens of Ba Na Hills. Number 4, the Devil's Bridge. It's like a perfect circle made by nature in Germany. Devil's Bridge is in Kromlau Park, Saxony, Germany. It was built in the 1860s by Knight Friedrich Hermann Rötschke and is known for its unique design. When viewed from the right angle and in the right light, the bridge and its reflection in the water form an almost perfect circle. The bridge is made of basalt stones that were imported from distant places in Germany and the Czech Republic. The sharp stone decorations on both ends were intentionally made to look like natural basalt columns, which are common in some volcanic areas. It was called Devil's Bridge because of the local belief back then that such a difficult structure to build could only have been made by the devil. At present, it is now protected as a cultural heritage site. Walking directly on the bridge is prohibited to preserve its condition, and it can only be viewed from around the lake. Many photographers from different countries come here to capture the perfect circular reflection shot. Number 3, insane half-pipe skateboard stunt in the middle of a bridge in Spain. The Puente de la Lamillo in Seville, Spain is known as an engineering marvel designed by the Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava for Expo 92. But in 2015, it was used in a unique way. A stunt called the Insane Halfpipe by professional skateboarder Danny Leon with the help of Red Bull. They set up a temporary skateboarding ramp right on the edge of the bridge, hundreds of feet above the ground. Strict safety measures like harnesses and safety nets were used, but the stunt was clearly still dangerous. This stunt became a symbol of extreme sports creativity and showed how modern innovation can be combined. The Puente La Lamillo is 820 feet long and uses a single pylon cable-stayed design, one of the few of its kind in the world. Number 2, Overton Bridge, the mysterious dog suicide phenomenon in Scotland, located in Milton, Dumbarton, Scotland. The Overton Bridge was built in 1895 by architect H. E. Milner. It is 50 feet long and stands over 50 feet high. It was built in Dumbarton. There are various theories about this. According to a study by animal behaviorist Dr. David Sands, it's possible that dogs are attracted to the scent of mink, which are abundant in the area. And because of the design of the bridge with high and solid stone parapets, they can't see the height. Even so, there are locals who believe in supernatural causes. This includes ghost stories from Overtown House near the bridge. To this day, there are warning signs posted to prevent dog owners from approaching the edge of the bridge. Top floating bridge engineering solution in Seattle, United States of America. One of the most iconic floating bridges in the world is the Evergreen Point Floating Bridge, or State Route 520 Bridge. In Seattle, Washington, it was opened in 1963 and was replaced by a more modern version in April 2016. It is 7,710 feet long. According to the Guinness World Records, it is the longest floating bridge in the world. Its design was made by engineer Homer Hadley, who used hollow reinforced concrete pontoons to keep the bridge floating on top of Lake Washington. This design was created due to the lake bed's softness. The most obvious thing is that they were finished. For more than 5 decades, this technology has proven to be durable against strong waves and winds, and is still used as a model for other pontoon bridges around the world. Bonus entry 1, Bath Colonies Under Congress Avenue Bridge, Austin, Texas. In Austin, Texas, the Ann W. Richards Congress Avenue Bridge is famous for its design and for housing the world's largest urban bat colony. It is estimated that over 1,500,000 Mexican free-tailed bats live under the bridge from March to October. According to Bat Conservation International, bats choose this type of bridge because of the small crevices underneath, which are perfect roosting spots for them. Every night they fly out to look for food, which is usually insects, and it is estimated that they eat over 20,000 pounds of insects each night. This is a big help in the city's pest control. Now, it has become a tourist attraction visited by thousands of people to witness the amazing bat emergence event. Bonus entry 2, Ghost Bridge, Shoal Creek, Florence, Alabama, United States of America. The old railroad bridge in Florence, Alabama is one of the most famous haunted bridges in America. Although most of its old parts have been removed, there are still pedestrian sections open to the public. It was called Ghost Bridge because of local stories about ghosts and strange sounds that can be heard at night. According to historical records, this place was the site of several Civil War skirmishes, and there were reports of extrajudicial hangings in the early 1900s. Many paranormal investigators have visited this place, and some have captured electronic voice phenomena recordings, and unexplained temperature drops. Although there is no scientific evidence, it has remained part of local folklore and is one of the popular destinations for ghost tours in Alabama. Bonus entry 4, Living Bridges in Meghalaya, India. In the northeastern part of India, particularly in the state of Meghalaya, known as the Abode of Clouds, you can find one of the most unique types of bridges. The so-called living root bridges are made from the living roots of the Ficus elastica, or Indian rubber tree. These trees have a natural ability to produce long aerial roots that are strong and flexible. The indigenous people here, especially the Khasi and Jaintia tribes, have a tradition of guiding and directing the growth of the roots. They use bamboo and wood as temporary supports to guide the roots until they reach the other side of the river or ravine. This process is not rushed. It usually takes 20 to 30 years before it is fully formed and becomes a safe crossing for people. Once fully formed, these bridges become very sturdy. There are records that some of them are over 500 years old and continue to grow stronger as long as the tree is alive. Because it is made from natural material that continues to grow and shape itself, it is not easily damaged by floods or storms. At present, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization recognizes the living root bridges as an important example of India's intangible cultural heritage. It is also a major destination for eco-tourists and adventure hikers from different parts of the world. In particular, the bridge in the village of Notorious is known for its 3-level root bridge, one of the few in the world with such a design. Bonus entry 5, Kapel Brook. Kapel Brook, Kapel Brook, Kapel. In the town of Lucerne, Switzerland, stands one of the most iconic and most protected historic bridges in Europe, the Kapel Brook, or Chapel Bridge. It was built in 1434 as part of the city's defense against invaders. Back then, it was part of a strategic line of defense that connected to the Wasserturm, or water tower, an octagonal medieval tower that was used as a watchtower, prison, and treasury. This is the Bridge of Presidents. Originally, it was 204 meters long, making it the longest covered wooden bridge in all of Europe at that time. But in August 1993, a terrible fire destroyed almost 2/3 of the bridge. It is believed that the fire started from a cigarette butt dropped by people passing over the bridge. In that incident, more than 80 works that were part of the bridge's interior paintings were also destroyed. These paintings, created by the painter Hans Heinrich Wegmann in the 17th century, depict important scenes in the history of Lucerne and Switzerland. These include scenes from the Battle of Sempach and religious themes. After the fire, the local government carried out an extensive restoration project to return the Kapellbrücke to its former state. They used the same type of wood and medieval design to maintain the authenticity of the structure. Now, only 170 meters remain from the original length of the bridge, but it is still used by pedestrians every day. Aside from being a passageway, it is also a cultural landmark, and it is a major tourist attraction visited by millions of tourists every year.